Welcome to Trading Mindset Lab, where we train your mind before we touch the market. This isn't about hype, it's about discipline, patience, and long-term thinking. Because in trading, your mindset is your greatest edge. Let's build it. Never losing, the psychology of a trader who survives. First truth: nobody wins forever, but you can choose to never lose. In the world of trading, the harshest truth is also the most liberating. Nobody wins forever. Not Paul Tudor Jones, not Warren Buffett, not even Soros. But here's the real secret: winning forever was never the goal. The goal is never losing in a way that knocks you out of the game. You can't control outcomes, you can't predict the market, but you can choose the one thing that separates legends from casualties: to never let one loss define you. Real traders don't aim to be right all the time. They aim to survive all the time. Because in this game, survival isn't passive. It's strategy, it's intelligence, it's power. Second truth: losses don't come from the market. They come from within. The market doesn't care who you are. It doesn't know your hopes, your dreams, or your watch list. It's not your enemy. You are. Losses don't begin with red candles. They begin with mental cracks. The moment you move your stop loss just this once. The time you double down to win it back. The day you let revenge enter the room. Markets trigger the loss, but you pull the trigger. Until you master your inner game, no amount of charts, tools, or strategies will save you. The battle isn't out there. It's in here. Third truth: rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. This isn't just Warren Buffett's famous quote. It's the heartbeat of every trader who's still standing after 10, 20, even 30 years. It's not about being risk-averse. It's about being risk-intelligent. Every trade is a potential landmine. Your job? Make sure it can't blow up your future. Don't lose money. But more importantly, don't lose control. Because control is your currency, and without it, even the best strategy turns into blind hope. Fourth truth: a trading system isn't built to win. It's built not to lose. Most people look at systems and think, how do I win big? The pros look and ask, how do I make sure I don't blow up? A great system isn't a jackpot machine. It's a risk filter, a discipline anchor, a psychological shield. It tells you when not to trade. It tells you when to cut it off. It tells you, above all, that survival comes first. The system doesn't protect you from the market. It protects you from yourself. Fifth truth: long-term thinking is your bulletproof vest. The market is a battlefield, and long-term thinking is your armor. Every losing trade looks smaller when you zoom out. Every ego-driven mistake looks dumber when you think in decades. When you focus on longevity, emotions shrink. Greed becomes patience. Fear becomes data. FOMO becomes irrelevant. Think long, and you reduce noise. You stop chasing setups and start building a legacy. Short-term thinking is where traders die. Long-term thinking is where traders grow. Sixth truth: cutting losses isn't failure. It's mastery. The amateurs fear the stop loss. The pros worship it. Cutting a loss isn't quitting. It's choosing not to die. You don't win this game by fighting every battle. You win by walking away when the odds are no longer in your favor. Every small loss you take with discipline is a scar of wisdom, and every refusal to cut is a ticket to destruction. Great traders don't fear losses, they fear ignoring them. Seventh truth: the one who survives the longest always wins. In the end, it's not the flashiest strategy, it's not the biggest win streak. It's the trader who's still standing after everyone else blew up chasing thrills. Compounding only works if you're still alive to see it. Mastery only emerges after years in the arena. And peace of mind? It's the reward of the one who endures. You don't have to be the best every day. You just have to stay in the game long enough for your edge to work. The real win is never losing. If you manage risk like a mathematician, trade like an emotionless sniper, follow systems over feelings, and put survival above speed, then you've already won. Not by conquering the market, not by beating everyone else, but by doing something even harder. You refuse to let the market conquer you. That's the real win. That's how legends are built. That's how wealth is earned. Not overnight, but forever. Part 2, building an unbreakable, the system is the sanctuary. In trading, your emotions are unreliable. Your gut lies, your fear overreacts, your hope delays exits. But a system? A system never flinches. A real trading system is not designed to predict, it's designed to protect. It exists for one reason: to remove your emotions from the decision making table. You don't rise to your level of intention in the heat of battle, you fall to the level of your system. So if your system is weak, your psychology will fail. If your system is undefined, your capital is exposed. If your system is emotional, your account will suffer. A system is the firewall between you and chaos. Rules are not optional, they're oxygen. Great traders don't improvise, they execute. They don't feel the market, they follow rules. Rule for entry, rule for exit, rule for risk size, rule for walking away. Without rules, you're just a gambler with a keyboard. Every rule in your system is a decision you no longer have to make in panic. That's power, that's focus, that's freedom. And when the storm hits, and it will, your rules are the only thing that won't collapse. Simplicity over sophistication. Complex doesn't mean better. In fact, in trading, it usually means worse. The best systems are simple, clean, repeatable, emotionless. One setup, one entry, one exit, one risk rule. The more moving parts you add, the more failure points you create. The more indicators you stack, the more excuses you build to override discipline. Complexity feeds the ego. Simplicity feeds the account. The backtest is your lie detector. Every trader has a theory. Only the pros have data. You don't know your system works until you see how it performed over hundreds of trades across market conditions. How does it perform during trends? During chop? During news events? Your edge is not proven until it's backtested. And if the data says it doesn't work, you don't argue. You refine. You adapt. You adjust. The market doesn't care what you believe. It cares what works. You are the system. Even with the perfect rules, the ultimate edge, the back-tested proof, you are still the final executor. Which means you must trust your system even when you feel like doubting. You must follow your rules even when you're tempted to override. You must be disciplined enough to stay out when there's no setup. A system is only as strong as the trader behind it. The code can't save you. The strategy can't protect you from self-sabotage. Discipline is the glue. Execution is the bridge. Belief is the engine. Build a system that survives you. Markets evolve. You evolve. But your system must be designed to outlast both. Design it like you won't be disciplined someday, because one day you won't be. Design it like you'll be emotional, because you will be. Design it so that even on your worst day, you lose small and live to fight another day. That's not just system building. That's future-proofing your freedom. The goal is not more wins. It's fewer fatal mistakes. Your system doesn't need to win more. It needs to lose better. Cut losses fast. Avoid overtrading. Size risk conservatively. Let the edge compound over time. Winning is easy when things go well. What matters is how your system performs when it's hard. When markets break rhythm. When psychology breaks down. The best systems don't prevent losing days. They prevent losing lives. Conclusion: system first, emotion last. A trader without a system is a soldier without armor. A trader with a weak system is a ticking time bomb. But a trader with a clear, tested, disciplined system, that trader can outlast the chaos. That trader can build wealth through storms. That trader doesn't need luck because he already has what 90% don't: a plan, a process, and a mind that knows how to trust both. Part 3, mastering the inner game. The market doesn't test your strategy, it tests your psychology. Every candle on the chart is neutral. It's your mind that turns it into fear or greed. Most traders don't fail because of their system. They fail because they break down before the system has a chance to work. They chase because they're afraid to miss. They freeze because they're afraid to lose. They average down because they can't let go of being right. The market doesn't beat you. You beat yourself. Until you master your own mind, no setup is safe, no strategy is solid, no win is secure. Discipline is the real alpha. Alpha isn't about finding a secret setup. It's about becoming the type of trader who never needs one. The best edge in trading isn't your indicator. It's your consistency. Do you always cut your losses? Do you respect your position size? Do you wait for your A-plus setups? Most people can follow their rules when it's easy. Few can follow them when it's hard. That's where the real separation happens. Discipline is not a personality trait, it's a muscle, and most traders never train it. Emotions are signals, not orders. Fear isn't your enemy, neither is greed. They are signals, like blinking lights on your dashboard. The problem isn't feeling something, it's obeying it. Emotions scream for action, but a trader's job is to listen, not react. Fear says, get out. Your system says, stay in. Greed says, go big. Your risk rule says, stay small. The pro listens, then checks the rules. The amateur reacts, then checks the damage. Your job isn't to kill emotion, it's to out-decide it. Detach from the outcome. Attach to the process. Winning feels great, losing sucks. But if every trade outcome defines your self-worth, you're doomed to ride an emotional roller coaster until you blow up. You are not your P&L. You are the consistency of your decisions. The market doesn't owe you a green day. But it does reward those who detach from needing one. You don't control wins. You control execution. And execution compounds. Confidence without proof is delusion. Confidence is not shouting, I got this. It's whispering, I've prepared for this. You don't get confidence from belief. You earn it through tested systems, repetition, logging your trades, reviewing your mistakes. Real confidence comes from proof, from knowing your numbers, from seeing your rules protect you again and again. If you feel confident, but you haven't earned it, that's ego in disguise. And ego has no stop loss. The ego is the most expensive trader on the floor. Ego wants to win now, to be right, to show off. But the market doesn't care who you think you are. The moment you start defending your ego instead of your capital, you start forcing trades. You overstay losers. You ignore risk. And the price? Your account, your mindset, your career. A great trader doesn't try to win arguments with the market. They let their equity curve do the talking. Kill the ego. Save the account. Recovery is a skill, not an accident. Every trader falls. The question is how you rise. Comeback stories don't come from revenge trades. They come from reviewing every mistake, owning every lapse in discipline, rebuilding step by step with humility. The best traders in the world have all blown up at some point, but they didn't disappear. They came back wiser, stronger, cleaner, because they learned the ultimate skill: how to recover without self-destruction. Your identity must evolve. If you still think like the trader you were last year, you haven't grown. If your decisions still come from fear, you haven't matured. A trader's evolution is internal long before it's external. The greats don't just level up their strategies, they level up themselves. From reactive to calm, from compulsive to calculated, from fragile to anti-fragile. The market doesn't just demand skill, it demands identity. And the one who adapts wins. Final truth: master the inner game, and the market can't break you. You don't need to outsmart everyone. You need to outdiscipline yourself. You don't need to remove emotion. You need to rise above it. You don't need a magic setup. You need an unshakable process. Master yourself, and you master trading. The charts are just mirrors. They show you exactly who you are. And when you've mastered the inner game, there's nothing out there that can break you. Not the market, not the losses, not even your own fear. Because you've already beaten the hardest enemy of all, you. Part 4, the psychology of risk and leverage. Risk is not the enemy. Misunderstanding it is. Risk is not something you eliminate, it's something you price. Every trade carries risk. The question isn't if you'll lose, it's how much and when. The amateur sees risk as something to avoid. The pro sees risk as a cost of doing business. You're not a fortune teller, you're a risk manager. Your job is not to be right. Your job is to survive long enough to let right take care of itself. Risk size, the difference between a bad day and a career-ending one. Risk too small and you never grow. Risk too big and you never get the chance to grow. There's a line, and you must respect it. If you risk 5% per trade, you only need 4 losers in a row to be down 20%. And from there, you're not thinking clearly, you're panicking. One oversized trade can undo months of solid work. Just one. Your goal isn't to get rich fast. Your goal is to stay in the game forever. Small risk equals emotional control. Emotional control equals longevity. Longevity equals wealth. Pat leverage, the devil's candy. Leverage is seductive. It whispers, you can turn a little into a lot fast. And sometimes it works. You double an account in a week. You feel invincible. You think you cracked the code. Then one trade reverses. One news event hits. One fat finger moment, and your account is gone. Leverage doesn't just amplify gains, it multiplies regret. It turns a mistake from painful into fatal. Use it like a loaded weapon, only with a plan, only with precision, only when you've earned the right, and even then, respect it like it could kill you, because it can. Never let one trade take you out. You can lose a trade, you can lose a day, even a week, but you must never lose the ability to come back. That means no overleverage, no all-in thinking, no revenge trades. The pros build their system around surviving bad days. The amateurs build their ego around good ones. Ask yourself every time you click buy, if this trade fails, am I still in the game tomorrow? If the answer is no, you don't take it. Ever. The real risk is inside you. The market is unpredictable, but it's not personal. Your losses don't come from the candles. They come from your compulsions. You take a revenge trade. You size up out of frustration. You hold a loser because you just know it'll come back. That's not the market beating you. That's you stepping into your own trap. Risk isn't out there. It's in your habits. And until you control you, you'll always be overexposed. Pain is feedback. Learn or repeat. Every major drawdown is a message. Are you listening? Did you follow your rules? Did you size correctly? Did you respect volatility? Or did you let emotion drive the bus? Pain is tuition. You either pay and learn, or you pay and repeat, and the market doesn't offer refunds. Slow growth is safe growth. Everyone wants to scale. Few are patient enough to earn the right. You don't scale just because you want more. You scale because your data says you're ready. Are you profitable over 200 trades? Have you handled drawdowns without breaking rules? Can you walk away from the screen when nothing's there? If not, scaling is suicide. Grow like a sniper, not a gambler. Add size only when your discipline earns it. Fast money is emotional. Smart money is strategic. The only leverage that never kills, emotional control. Leverage on capital can wreck you, but leverage on self-awareness makes you unstoppable. You know when you're off. You pause when tempted. You exit when it hurts, without ego. That's real power. The greatest leverage is internal. It's the ability to do the hard, boring right thing every day. And when others blow up chasing glory, you quietly build wealth in silence. Final word, risk right or don't trade. You don't rise in this game because of perfect entries. You rise because you respect risk like a religion. If you want to last, if you want to win without ever needing to gamble, if you want the freedom that trading promises, then remember this truth. Real traders don't seek more risk. They master the ones they already take. And once you do that, you've already separated yourself from 99%. Not because you took bigger swings, but because you survived long enough to never need to. Tuit vui, dude la. Part 5, Surviving the Storms, How to Trade Through Crisis. The market doesn't warn you before it collapses. Crashes don't knock, they barge in. No warning, no mercy, no second chance. In a matter of hours or even minutes, what once looked like a perfect uptrend can turn into a bloodbath. Your account, it doesn't care about your confidence, your certainty, your bullish thesis. The market has no obligation to match your expectations. It only respects your preparation. Survivors don't predict, they prepare. Amateurs ask, when's the next crash coming? Pros ask, when it comes, how much pain can I absorb and still keep playing? You don't need to forecast a storm. You need a shelter before it hits. Tight risk controls, zero overexposure, absolute discipline on exits, no ego trades, enough cash to sit out chaos. That's your storm shelter. Preparation is what keeps your career alive when others vanish overnight. Emotions spike in crisis, so must your rules. During panic, your brain lies to you. It'll bounce back. It can't go lower. I have to make it back today. This is the bottom. I feel it. And in these lies, careers are destroyed. That's why pros don't trust their gut in crisis. They trust their rules. In normal markets, rules protect you. In panic markets, rules save you. If your system doesn't include what to do in extreme volatility, you don't have a real system. You have hope, and hope gets slaughtered. Cash is a position. Silence is a move. When everything crashes, the strongest traders go flat. They stop, they watch, they protect capital. Why? Because surviving the storm is worth more than catching the bottom. You don't need to trade every day. You need to trade the days that count. And sometimes, doing nothing is doing the most. You can't save a trade that's bleeding. In a crash, cutting a loser isn't emotional. Holding one is. The chart has changed. The structure is gone. The edge has vanished. You're not waiting for a bounce. You're gambling for a miracle. If your stop was valid at entry, it must be respected at chaos. Discipline means taking a small wound instead of waiting for amputation. Never negotiate with a crashing trade. Exit. Reassess. Preserve your firepower. Crisis creates two types of traders. When the storm hits, you either panic, freeze, and destroy your account, or follow your system, adapt, and live to strike again. Everyone looks like a genius in a bull market, but in panic, true traders emerge. If you survive the crash, not just financially, but mentally, you come out stronger than 90%. Big crashes, bigger opportunities. Here's the irony. Crashes don't just destroy weak traders. They build the great ones. If you survive with your capital and confidence intact, you're gifted something priceless. Once-in-a-decade setups. The 2008 post-crash rally, the 2020 COVID rebound, the dot-com flush and rebirth. But these windows only open for those who didn't blow up. So next time panic hits, don't think about profits. Think about staying in position to take advantage after the chaos. Every trader needs a crisis plan. Write this down. Right now, what's my max loss per trade during extreme volatility? Do I have circuit breaker rules to stop trading after X% drawdown? What volatility filters stop me from entering low-quality trades? Am I using leverage during panic? Why? Do I have cash reserves to wait out the storm? If you can't answer those calmly, the storm will answer them for you, violently. Pro traders rehearse the fire drill before the building burns. No storm lasts forever, but you must. Markets recover. They always do. But the trader who blew up doesn't. He's gone. Not because the crash was too big, but because his risk was too blind. You can't stop the market from crashing, but you can make sure it never takes you with it. Final word. You win the future by surviving the present. You're not here to be a market prophet. You're here to be a risk tactician. Every time you walk away from a crash with your capital intact, you level up. Not because you made money, but because you earned your right to trade another day. Trading through a crisis doesn't just test your system, it reveals your soul. If you pass that test, if you stay calm, disciplined, detached, then the market just became your servant. Because you survived what broke everyone else. And in this game, the survivor always wins. Part 6, the trader's daily battle, winning every day without trading every day. Winning begins before the market opens. Most traders lose before they even click buy. Why? Because they wake up late, rush their analysis, scroll Twitter for signals, and chase whatever's moving. That's not trading. That's gambling in real time. Pro traders win their day before the bell rings. They have a structured morning routine, a watch list built from logic, not FOMO, risk parameters locked in, zero emotional attachment to any outcome. When you start your day like a machine, you finish it like a master. Every day is a mental war zone. You're not just trading charts, you're trading against your own mind. The fear of missing out, the urge to revenge trade, the itch to make something happen, the fantasy of doubling your account in one trade. The market isn't your enemy. Your undisciplined self is. That's why pros treat each day like a battle, not against price action, but against self-destruction. Routine isn't boring, it's bulletproof. Great traders aren't great because they're brilliant. They're great because they're boring. Same checklist, same risk settings, same watch list process, same journaling, day after day after day. Why? Because mastery lives in repetition. Chaos begins when you improvise. If your daily system isn't boring yet efficient, you're still relying on luck. You don't need to trade every day. You need to think every day. A losing trader thinks, I have to make money today. A winning trader thinks, do I even need to be in the market today? Some of your best trades will be the ones you didn't take. Avoiding B-grade setups is an elite skill. The pros don't hunt for action. They wait for edge. If the market isn't offering quality, you owe it nothing. The daily scorecard that matters. Forget P&L. Real traders grade themselves on: did I follow my system? Did I respect risk? Did I stay emotionally neutral? Did I sit out low-quality trades? Did I journal and reflect? That's the scorecard that compounds. Because a trader who wins emotionally every day wins financially over the long run. The real daily discipline, ending the day with strength. How you finish the day is as critical as how you start. The average trader holds losers overnight, hoping they bounce, chases one last scalp to make it back, feels empty if they didn't place a trade. The pro closes shop cleanly, reviews every position, logs everything, emotionally and technically, prepares for tomorrow, today. You don't just win by trading well, you win by ending strong, no matter the result. Your calendar should be your weapon. Pros don't just look at the chart, they look at the calendar. When is FOMC, CPI print, earnings season, quad witching, options expiry? If you're unaware of macro drivers, you're swimming in shark-infested waters with blindfolds. Timing isn't just about charts, it's about context. Smart traders avoid landmines others walk into. Energy management is capital preservation. A tired trader is a sloppy trader. Burnout leads to overtrading, missing key signals, emotional decisions, reckless revenge trades. Your energy is part of your capital. Manage it like you manage your account. That's why elite traders sleep like athletes, eat for focus, not comfort, exercise to reset the nervous system, take breaks before their mind breaks. You can't trade well if you don't think well. Extra how, you're not a trader, you're a strategic operator. If you treat this like a game, you'll lose. If you treat it like a war, you'll win. A trader's day isn't about flashing buttons. It's about planning like a general, executing like a sniper, reviewing like an analyst, evolving like a founder. Every day you show up with discipline, you get better, even if you didn't trade. Success isn't found in a single trade. It's built brick by brick, one elite day at a time. Final word, your daily edge is built, not found. You don't find your edge. You build it by showing up with intention, precision, and control every day. If you can, start with clarity. Respect your own limits. Detach from results. End with analysis. Return tomorrow sharper. You don't need perfect trades. You just need perfect habits. Master your day, and the market becomes your student. Part 7, the final filter. Character is the ultimate edge. The market doesn't just test your strategy, it tests who you are. Every chart you trade, every decision you make, every dollar you risk reveals something deeper than your system. It reveals your character. The market is the most brutal mirror on earth. It reflects back your discipline or lack of it, integrity or deception, patience or desperation, humility or arrogance. Your biggest edge is not your strategy. It's who you become when money's on the line. You can't trade better than your integrity. If you cheat your system, cut corners, move stops, double down out of ego, you're not just breaking rules, you're breaking trust with yourself. And when that trust is gone, so is your edge. Because how can you expect to execute a plan you secretly don't believe in? Real traders don't chase wins, they chase consistency. And consistency starts with character. The market will always punish your weakest trait. Are you impatient? The market will bait you into early entries. Are you greedy? It'll tempt you into oversized positions. Are you afraid to lose? It'll trap you in analysis paralysis. Are you arrogant? It'll teach you the cost of ignoring risk. You don't just trade charts, you trade your weaknesses. And the only way to win is to outgrow them. Every loss is a character test. Will you blame the market or take responsibility? Will you revenge trade or walk away with discipline? Will you learn or repeat the same error again? It's not the money lost that destroys traders. It's the identity they can't let go of. They'd rather lose capital than admit, I was wrong. But pros understand, losses don't define your worth. They reveal your growth. The best traders are quiet killers. You'll rarely find a true professional bragging, because the ones who survive long-term know the market can humble you tomorrow. Ego is a ticking time bomb. Confidence must be quiet, earned, not shouted. They don't post their wins every day. They journal, they reflect, they evolve. Loud traders impress strangers. Silent ones build empires. Longevity is the only true flex. Anyone can win in a bull run. Anyone can flip a lucky trade. But can you thrive through 5 different market regimes? Hold your discipline after a month of losses? Stick to your plan when social media is screaming the opposite? That's the real flex. The ones who last the longest always win the most. Because while others burn out in months, they quietly compound for decades. Build the trader before you build the portfolio. Your system can be copied. Your signals can be stolen. Your strategy can become obsolete. But your discipline, emotional control, and resilience, no one can replicate that. You're not building trades. You're building identity. You don't grow your account before you grow yourself. The account is a reflection of the trader behind it. So stop trying to find the perfect entry. Start becoming the kind of person who doesn't need one. Character is the ultimate risk management. When all else fails, the market crashes, the strategy fails, the emotions rise, the doubt creeps in. Character holds the line. The one who doesn't panic, doesn't quit, doesn't deviate, doesn't lie to himself. That trader survives. And survival, day after day, loss after loss, year after year, is what eventually leads to domination. Your strategy makes you a trader. Your character makes you a legend. Final word, the market pays the most to those who deserve it. The market doesn't owe you anything. It rewards those who earn it, not just with skill, but with behavior, with inner mastery. The deeper you build your character, your discipline, your integrity, your focus, your emotional detachment, the more inevitable your success becomes. Because long-term profit is not a math formula. It's a moral compass. In the end, the market is just a playground, but your character, that's the only edge that can't be shaken. Become unshakable, and the market has no choice but to follow. Final thoughts. Your journey to mastery starts here. You've just unlocked the 7 core truths every successful trader lives by. But remember, knowledge alone isn't enough. Mastery comes from action, discipline, and daily commitment. Trading isn't a sprint. It's a marathon of mental strength, character, and relentless improvement. The market won't give you anything for free. But if you build your mindset first, you'll never lose yourself in the chaos. Every chapter you've read is a step toward becoming the trader you want to be. One who survives, thrives, and dominates in any market environment. Join the Trading Mindset Lab. If you're serious about upgrading your trading psychology, sharpening your edge, and building habits that last a lifetime, this is your community. Subscribe to Trading Mindset Lab now and gain exclusive access to deep dive lessons on trading psychology and strategy, proven frameworks to control emotions and risk, real-world examples and live breakdowns, a supportive network of disciplined traders. Don't trade alone, trade smart. Don't just chase wins, build your foundation. Your mindset is your most powerful tool. Let's sharpen it together. Hit subscribe and join the lab today. Your future self will thank you.